Hello, hi everyone. It's Dr. JR, sorry, from RJ Clinic. So I'm quite sure everyone is stuck in the jam, either stuck in the jam or preparing yourself for the interesting weekend. So this episode, I'm going to do a live demonstration and also some explanation on how aesthetic doctors like us achieving a very youthful nose and in less than 15 minutes. So what I'm going to showcase to you is how we use fillers to actually enhance and augment the nose from the nose tip all the way to the nose bridge. So before that, for the interest of the public, I will start the live session explaining to you how us doctors actually augment the nose on the screen, as well as telling you what are the precaution or danger when doing these procedures, and how do we achieve a nice or perfect nose. There are certain angles that we actually doctors look at, and for your reference you can also measure yourself, take a few pictures of yourself and do measure those angles at home, and see whether you have a perfect nose or not. So to start with the live today, I will show you actually what are the structure of the nose here. Actually, our nose is made out of a very certain cartilage like this. These are all the soft cartilage, right? These are soft cartilage. The soft cartilage here, right? Soft cartilage. And when you move upwards, right, towards your forehead, and suddenly you can feel that the part of the nose is a bit harder. This is the part of the hard bone. So on your nose, there's certain areas that is softer, certain area that is hard. The area that is nearer to your forehead is hard. Those are bony areas, part of your skull. And when you move further down, it's the area that has no bone, but it has cartilage. That's why it is much softer. And in this cartilage, this is the area that a lot of us Asian has poor support. As compared to Caucasians, we have poorer this cartilage support. That's why you can see these Caucasians and they have this very tall nose. It's because of this cartilage. The cartilage is much stronger and much taller, as compared to us it's much flatter like this. Alright? Okay, understood? So how do we before we move on to how do we do it, is I'm going to talk to you on what are the angles, right? We mentioned about just now that some angles. So the first angle is from your forehead to the nose, this angle, okay? And the second angle is from the nose to the lips, this angle, okay? So this angle, if you want a perfect nose, it's supposed to be 140 to 160 degree, right? Okay, so and this degree here is called nasolabial degree. The nose and the lips degree, it should be 90 to 110. So if you are less, probably it's not very perfect lah. And if you have too sunken this nose bridge, then again you cannot achieve this angle. Okay, understood? Okay, so now you can go home for a project in the weekend. You go and take a picture of side profile like this, and you can measure whether you can achieve 140, 160 and 90, 110. Right? If not, then you can look for us. We can augment it to the perfect nose. And you can also take some celebrities photos, their side profile, and actually see whether they have achieved these angles or not. Most of them, they have these angles. Alright? So if you have any questions, you can ask us, and I will try to answer them here. Okay. Alright. So next we move on to how do we actually augment? How do we do anything to it? Okay, you can see. Come back to this picture. This we are doing it right today. Okay, the filler is what we use is derma fillers, right? Filler is like a gel to augment certain part. We put in certain place that we want to achieve the angle. So, for example, that the nose, if it's sunken in this nose bridge area. So, how do we do it is, we can put some filler here. Here. And you remember just now when I mentioned that our Asian they have excuse me, porous soft cartilage. So if you have porous soft cartilage, what we can do is we inject some filler between the skin and the soft cartilage here, right, to create some support. So you have, if you've seen your nose that has poor this angle, what we can do is we inject certain filler here to bring up the nose, bring this area up, right, to create this perfect angle here. Okay, so this is how we create a nose. Of course, we can also put certain filler here, nose tip, so to make this angle better. So this is how we create nose augmentation using filler. Of course, not. It sounds very simple and very easy, right? But as you all know, there are certain risks in doing nose augmentation or what. I can see in the news that certain people augment the nose with the beauty salons, then they end up with problems like infection, ischemia, the nose turning black, this kind of thing. So today I will talk about the worst case scenario. That means the filler goes into the vessel and end up blocking the artery and your nose become black, right? So those cases because in our nose you can see there are a lot of vessels here, right? Okay, this is the blood supply to the nose. You see, it's very complex, right? So if you were to inject the nose, we normally inject in the area like this. Okay, if we were to inject the nose, we inject fillers like this. Okay, in the center. Okay, in the center here, right? So which is not, if it's the area that is without artery, right? This happens in about 90% of the case. So if you go to a beauty salon, I am quite sure that they won't know this. They won't know the blood vessel where they are, you know, where they shouldn't be injecting. So okay, so what if you choose a cheaper alternative, or maybe sometimes more expensive alternative? We go to a beauty salon and they don't know about this. Okay, so let's say okay, for example, they inject into here, into this artery. Artery is a vessel that supply blood to the nose lah. Okay, so what happened to this filler is the filler may travel. They travel into the eye and go into the retina. Okay, so this happens and then you can cause blindness. Okay, so another case is if they inject into vessel like this. Okay, I'll show you. Then if you inject into here, or let's say here and here, and if it travels down, this area may become black because it doesn't have blood supply. Just like when you tie a rubber band on your hand, it has no blood supply. For 1 hour, it becomes black. So that is our human body. If without blood supply, the tissue will turn black and fall off. So next, we move on to the injection. So today we have here Michelle for the injection, which I have taken picture. Later we can see before after. So what you can see in her nose here, the side profile, is just now we mentioned about the angles, right? I think we can actually improve the angle here by improving some filler, right? So we can put some filler in this area. Okay, in this area, so that the angle is much better. Also, I would like to augment this area to bring it up higher. The tip can be further improved slightly here. Okay, so later I will show you how I do step by step. Normally I will start by this, number 1. Okay, then I do number 2, the tip. Then number 3 here. So it's a step-by-step procedure. Before this, actually we have put a numb cream for a while, so she would feel a bit of sensation, but not much. So okay, let's start. So what I'm going to do today is using this product called Skin Feel Diamond, which is a product from Menarini, from Italy. So make sure if you inject fillers, you have to make sure your product is safe. You register with the Ministry of Health. A lot of times, beautician, beauty salon, they are unable to get these products from a correct distributor. What they can do is they normally get products from China, Korea. They bring it themselves in their handbag and bring it in through the custom immigration. So in that case, your safety is not protected because it's not a registered product. It's not safe. Now of course we don't share products. Each patient will get a new syringe, which is of course safer and cleaner. So what I'm doing now is connecting the filler. HA is always transparent in color. You can see it's transparent in color. There's no color. What I'm doing is connecting it to a cannula. Cannula is it's a needle, but it's blunt. So, yep, it looks scary, but okay. I have my assistant to do that. Okay, so before I actually inject, I'll ask her to lie down. I'll just clean the area that I want to inject. I'll clean the area very thoroughly a few times. So these are the small steps that I will normally take to prevent infection from happening. Okay, I normally clean a few times so that there's no bacteria around. So when we inject, it's totally safe and clean. Okay. So because the cannula is a blunt needle, so it needs a small hole for me to insert the cannula. So this is the introduction point. Okay. Okay. So I have created a small hole so for my cannula to be inserted. Okay. So first, remember the first step I was saying that I want to correct this angle, the nasolabial angle. So I'm inserting the cannula to correct the okay, this sorry okay, this area is a bit sensitive, so I will go very slowly so that she doesn't feel much pain. So I'm injecting the filler bit by bit, very gently. Right, you can see how much filler is actually moving. It's actually very little. I'm doing bit by bit, bit by bit. Okay. Okay, you can see from the side profile, you can come down and have a look. You can see this angle actually immediately improved, right? Okay. You can see this angle is improved and it has brought the whole nose actually higher already. Later, after we inject completed, I will show you that the before after how it's like. So I continue by injecting the tip, which is less painful already. So now what I'm doing now is actually correcting the tip. Remember the picture earlier? So now what I'm doing now is injecting the filler between the skin and the soft cartilage to create some support and definition. So after the filler is put inside, you can see the nose tip is better defined. Okay, you can see now the nose tip is better defined. Right, on the side profile is well much better. Okay, lastly, what I'm going to do is creating the whole length by correcting actually the nose bridge up to the tip area. Okay, by using the same incision. So what we normally do for safety purposes, we always go in the center like this, very gently, in the center, very gently, okay, like this, okay, so that you won't hit the vessel. So I also use a blunt cannula. So when it's blunt, it's very difficult for it to insert into the vessel. So we mentioned that you inject the vessel, you cause some problems, right? So now that we actually take precaution to prevent those issues from happening. So my cannula is all the way inside, injecting some filler here. You can see it's slowly raising up. So how do we know how much to inject? This is actually by experience and skill, okay? Although I'm talking and doing some injection, it looks very fairly easy, right? That you can do it at home, right? But please don't replicate whatever I am doing and buy a series from eBay and Amazon and try to do this yourself. I'm quite sure it will fail very terribly. Don't. Okay? This is what is based on experience and more than hundreds, thousands of injection. Okay, so see all the way is really bringing the area up. So I'm slowly injecting. So the art of injection is actually I am not actually creating a lot of pain. I am not creating a very rough injection. So she is fairly comfortable just for the part that just now we injected here, right? Now she is not feeling much pain, just that she is feeling that a certain clicking sound inside, which is quite tolerable. Okay. So much better, right? You can see the side profile and the front profile. Her nose is much better defined, but to make it more perfect, I think we can afford to inject a bit more. Okay, you okay? Can we go? Just a bit more. Just chin up a bit. Any questions so far? Okay, I'm doing some final touch up for the area here and certain area in the top as well. So what you can see here, I'm also inserting very gently, although it's the second time. So I'm inserting very gently. Okay. Okay, a bit more in the area. Okay, so the art of aesthetic, right, is we create something that is very natural and yet people will notice. So if you have seen now, nothing is very artificial. If you have not seen this live, you will not know she has been injected before. So you can see from the front view, from the side view, it's very natural except for this small bleeding here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I will change to the strap needle to augment this area into a better shape. Now, the last part. Okay, so what we are going to do now is injecting, if the camera can come over here, this side. So what I'm going to do is creating this part. Okay, so like this, right? Here, this. shape. Okay. Okay. 2, 3. So bit by bit. Okay, because it's a very vascular area, bleeding is of course unavoidable. So when there's bleeding, we normally actually stop the bleeding, right? Then so you won't get a lot of bruising, and actually the sharp needle is very very small. Okay. Any questions so far? So how much we have injected is half of the syringe, about 0.6 cc. You can see it's half of it. So not a lot. So normally for the general public, normally we don't use a lot on the nose. Nose is a very dangerous area, as I said just now. So we don't inject too much in one session. We just inject about half a syringe or maximum one syringe.
Want to ask, is it pain?
If I tell you that it's painless, then I will be lying to you lah. I think it has certain small pricking sensation when I insert the needle, right? But when you touch the bone, it's not too painful when you injecting. But when you prick the skin, definitely there's certain sensation. Maybe you can ask Michelle. How is the feeling so far?
Here is a bit
yeah, the nasal tip, right?
Yeah.
The tip is a bit painful, but when we go up, I think that is a bit quite tolerable. So as I told her, this part is the most painful because the nerve actually travels through there, and but that's the most rewarding part that we have to do. If not, you won't get the nice angle there. So last bit of injection, I'll put my needle last time, and we are done.
Want to ask, is it permanent?
No. If somebody tells you the injection is permanent, I think you should not go to the person. Right? Some beautician, they promise you a permanent injection. So when you heard the word permanent, right, I think you should be very very careful. I have seen cases, about 5 to 6 cases, that being injected with permanent filler. Okay, so when we say permanent filler, it is either a silicone or something else that I don't know. You never know. So if you have injected silicone, that is the nightmare that you will have. The nightmare doesn't come instantly. They come in about 4 to 5 years later when they grow into an elephant size. Okay, so do not inject something permanent. This filler is a HA filler. They will last for about 12 to 16 months. Right? If you want something permanent, you should go for implant, for surgery, not for injection. Okay.
Want to ask, no numb cream?
Yeah, I applied the numb cream before the live. So to avoid you being bored to death, so I have actually applied all the numb cream, the preparation, the picture taking. So this is only the injection part. So I'm actually done with the injection. You can see almost done. Okay, done.
Comparison.
Okay, so now I will compare with you the before and after. Okay. Okay, so from the front view. Okay, front view you can see. So this is the before, and this is the after. Obviously, you can see the whole nose is being brought up very very nicely here. So this is a bit slanting downwards, right? So now it's a bit slanting upwards. And of course the tip you can see has also improved here. What about the bridge? The bridge is also improved a bit, right? It also pulls the eye distance together. If you can see, you can see the eyes actually looks closer to each other. This is one of the side advantage you get for a nose filler, for nose augmentation. Okay, how about the side profile? Okay, let's see. This is right side. Okay. So I'll go here. Okay. So you can see now the I don't know how the view there, but I can imagine. Because I injected a lot, I will know. This area achieved the angle that we mentioned just now, about 140 to 160, right? And you look at this area now here. Okay, this area will also improve, right? This columella area has improved, and you can look at the tip. The nasal tip has also brought up. Okay, this is just in the span of about 15 minutes like we have done just now. Okay, so very straightforward, very safe in the safe hands, very fast, and of course it's also long lasting. It can last about 1.5 years, and of course look for certified doctors to actually perform the procedure to be safe rather than sorry. All I want to tell the audience is you rather spend a bit more than be safe. Okay, see you. Happy holidays.